Good evening.
Good evening.
How are we doing?
All right.
Good. Always wonderful to see you all, even if it is wrong.
Yes.
I'm Scott Parent, the Director of the Clayton County Library System. And as usual, thank you to my dedicated staff, the hard work that they do day in and day out to bring success to the library system. Just want to give you kudos. So for the month of March, you may have seen in the report, a lot of pages for this month. We had a lot of stuff that we were able to accomplish, a lot of things going on, and I'm just going to highlight a few of those. So you may remember on March the 2nd, we were at a recording studio. And thanks to our illustrious secretary, we were on Bonnie and the City radio show. A good couple of hours highlighting the activities that we were doing in the library, the initiatives, the resources that we have for the community, and I think it was very well received. That Monday, we had a gentleman who works for the county, works for the, I think, the refuse department. He came in and he heard the radio broadcast, and he was like, "Man, you all did a fantastic job." So it's just really wonderful and endearing to hear folks who you wouldn't believe may have heard it and heard all the good things that we do. So it was very nice, very refreshing. So Coffee with the Librarian was also a major event we had for the month of March, and for the month of March we had none other than our newly elected chairwoman for the Clayton County Board of Commissioners, Dr. Alika Anderson-Henry, and we spent a good little time with her, and she told us her wishes for the county moving forward. We had a very nice conversation, and a lot of nice questions, thoughtful questions from the crowd who attended as well, so very nice event. We have the month of, well, toward the later part of the month of March and going into the month of April, gentleman who we partnered with, Mr. Thaddeus Dawson, and he's done a 5-week series course called Outside the Bar. And one of the series, or one of the sessions that he did was on the reevaluation of home ownership, or about the reevaluation of property. And so for those folks who have questions about their property and the value of it, there's a process that you can go through to have it reevaluated. He also had a session on heirs property, knowing that a lot of folks in our community don't leave wills or trusts behind for their loved ones. And so there's a lot of assets and money left out there that goes to the state or goes to other entities and is not passed on generationally. So he's providing a wealth of information for our citizens, and we've got a couple more sessions coming up, so we're looking forward to that. We also had Clayton County Day at the Capitol, and we saw many faces in the crowd who were there and represented for the county. It was a very nice day, fully packed, well, half a day at least. And so we got a chance to mingle with some of the department heads, some of the elected officials down at the state capitol. So that was a very nice event also. Let's see what else I want to make mention of. I think that's it. I'll leave some for Deputy Director Stanley. Any questions on any of the updates or bullet points from my report?
I'll just touch on Mr. Dawson. I think what he's doing is a great asset, not only to staff and employees, but for the community. As you mentioned, a lot of us, well, a lot of folks don't understand when it comes to heirs property. And for those who are now amongst relatives that didn't pay taxes, they end up losing their property.
Yes.
Because of not paying taxes. And so for him to come out and to educate everyone who owns heirs property about the wills, when you have a will, you have to go to probate, it can be tied to probate court for years before anything happens. And so I think that's a good thing that he is doing, bringing forth to the community. So we have better understanding of what Harris Property, Wills, and Trust is. And then the second thing I'll touch on will be the Clayton County Day at the Capitol. It was a very fruitful event, in my opinion. I enjoyed myself and got to see some faces that I have never met before, and got to see some faces that I hadn't met before, and that's according with our delegation. So it was a very fruitful event, in my opinion. Yes, thank you.
Yes. Any additional questions or comments?
Okay, hearing none. Next report, we go on to the financial report.
So we are winding down toward year-end spending. And for most of the branches, they are dwindling, and have remaining balances that will be spent by the deadlines. We have a couple of state grant line item budgets where there's money in those accounts that we had previously allocated for some big purchases, but we weren't able to do that. And so we had a meeting earlier today, and we have a plan to spend the state grant funds and to spend all of those funds. So we are in line, and we should not have any hiccups before the end of the county's deadline, which is the end of May, and the state's, which is the end of June. And so I'll say we're on point, but yes, the monies will be encumbered and spent by the deadlines for both of those accounts.
I do have a question, if I may. You may have answered this previously. If the money is not spent, is it rolled over, or is one of the budgets where it has to be zeroed out by the end of it?
For our state funds, we have to expend all of the state funds. Everything that they give us, we have to spend. Otherwise, I don't want to say we get penalized, but it doesn't look good. And there are steps that we will have to then go through at the end of the year to rectify and resolve that. With the county, we can encumber the funds for later use. We're a little more flexible with the county funds, but the state funds, we have to expend those.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Any additional?
Okay, hearing none, we'll accept, we will accept the report as read. Thank you so much. Next item, we'll go on to the Deputy Director's report.
Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Well, last month was full. And so let's talk about some of the things. We started with a proclamation at our board, at the Board of Commissioners. On March 18th, we honored the Morrow Civic Women's Club. So almost 50 years ago, an organization called the Morrow Junior Women's Club were instrumental in founding the Morrow branch of the Clayton County Library System. And so now the name of the organization is the Morrow Civic Women's Club. And so we honored them for Women's History Month with a proclamation at the BOC. We celebrated St. Patrick's Day, Mardi Gras, National Learn About Butterflies Day, and many more exciting events. So let's highlight some of them. Clayton County Public Schools Oratorical Competition. On March 13th, the Clayton County Library System participated in the Hear Our Voices Literacy Oratorical Competition, which included students from pre-K to 12th grade. The competition's topics were, if you had a microphone, what world issue would you speak up about? Students at the Clayton County Public Schools were encouraged to choose a topic they were passionate about and present in various formats, such as speeches, spoken words, essays, multimedia, etc. Some of the common issues were bullying, homelessness, global warming, hunger, and school shootings. Teachers and parents supported students in the meeting competition by helping them to gather facts, quotes, and statistics. They also assisted with writing, revising, and practicing the presentations while focusing on developing clear speaking voices as well as the use of props. Constantina Bankhead, who is our youth services assistant here at the Clayton County Library System, participated as one of the judges. And after the competition, Assistant Director of our Youth Services, Rebecca James, as well as Constantina Bankhead, talked about we should now put on an oratorical competition. We thought that that would be great for homeschooling as well as the students that attend the Clayton County Public Schools. So stay tuned for that. Also, New Orleans Mardi Gras Parade and Performance. This marked the second year of the annual Mardi Gras Parade celebration by the Forest Park Branch. Honoring the New Orleans tradition, the event titled New Orleans Mardi Gras Parade and Practice for Kids and Adults took place on Tuesday, March 4th at 4:30. This coincided with Fat Tuesday, and a live brass and percussion band performed outside the library, marching along the sidewalk while playing the authentic Dixieland music in new true Orleans style. So children were given toy tambourines, scarves, and beads, and they were invited to march behind the band and just enjoy and immerse in the festivities. And so that was a lot of fun. After that, they returned to the meeting room where they had a full jazz concert. And then also our assistant director, Rafina Oso, that is over outreach and customer engagement, got a chance to go and talk to people about the resources and what the Clayton County Library can do. March Madness at the Morrow Branch. March Madness was in full effect. They kicked off the month with the Read Across America, True Storytime featuring Miss Ann Johnson from the Farm Bureau. And they celebrated the love of reading through crafts, snacks, and activities. The excellent basketball and soccer team players from the Clayton State University joined us with the March Madness Storytime. Not only did they read stories, but they also spoke about healthy eating habits and what it takes to stay fit and be a great ball player. They also ended up participating in push-ups and jumping jacks, and also the soccer team demonstrated cool football tricks. And the kids were excited, and that was such a great moment for the students to come down and kind of mentor our Clayton County Library citizens. And so that was great. For St. Patrick's Day, on March 17th, at the Morrow Branch, it was full of color changing magic and plant growing shamrocks. And so children were able to watch as the color from the Skittles floated off into the water while forming a beautiful rainbow. Depending on the temperature of the water and how it was poured, different color blending outcomes achieved, leaving children in awe. Also at the Northwest Branch, they celebrated St. Patrick's Day with shamrock slime. And so there were 34 people in attendance, and the slime making activity was a hit that both children and parents were able to leave with big smiles, but also take home their creations that they had made that day. The Riverdale Branch celebrated St. Patrick's Day by serving cupcakes, playing music, offering face painting activities, as well as different various stations that they got a chance to go around to. So we had a lot of fun. Also, let's talk about some of the upcoming programs. On Tuesday, the Headquarters Library offers a music production and engineering class for adults and teens. The class starts at 6 p.m. and ends at 7 p.m. Also, starting June 7th, the Headquarters Library will offer a Film in 4 series. This class will teach patrons how to create a 5-minute short film in 4 weeks. And the premiere will also take place around Independence Day. The Georgia Library Service for Blind and Print Disabled will host the summer reading finale at the Northwest Branch on July 26th. So please check the website for details. And the Clayton County Library System has partnered with the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra to offer passes to our patrons. And this aims to provide our patrons and families with a unique level of exposure at no cost. And so it will be coming soon on our website, and adults can log in, click on it, and then also apply for tickets. When you apply, an adult will be given 4 tickets. So we hosted 40 outreach youth services and adult outreach events last month. We had 606 children, 173 teens, and 438 adults. Dr. Rufina Ozo, Director of Outreach and Customer Engagement, participated in several outreach events during a new orientation training. CCLS conducted a library presentation for 84 new employees. And this is the onboarding. When someone comes to the county to work, they have a new orientation training where different county departments are represented. And Rufina Ozo was represented for Clayton County. And so we got a chance to talk about the library, the resources, and what we can do for them. And she had knowledge during that event. Also, additionally, Dr. Ozo visited the Frank Bailey Senior Center, where the library engaged with 48 seniors. She highlighted resources, programs, and services that could benefit seniors. We also got a testimonial from a Carolyn Scott, and she talks about how she was able to, kind of work on her computer at home, but after it stopped working, then she started going to the Northwest Library. And she was very grateful for the library and the staff, and she talked about how everyone was so helpful. And that just because her computer does not work anymore does not mean that she can't take care of whatever she needs to. So we really thank everyone for those testimonials, because that really just does help. Also, since starting in the position March 10th, the Virtual Services Coordinator, which is Laura Eby, has focused on updating and correcting the website content on claytonpl.org, and recent changes included improving the navigation bar, homepage slider, and different functionalities of the website. And so she has really come in, done such a terrific job, and worked within the different county departments to digitize different forms and make things more efficient for everyone. On March 26th, she also led Career Launchpad, which was a digital database class for GED students. The session highlighted several electronic resources available through the library to support job hunting, interview preparation, test preparation, and career development. We always talk about professional development. So during the month of March, the Georgia Library Service for Print and Blind Disabled hosted its annual conference on March 28th. And the Clayton County Library System ambassadors, Kim Jones, which is here at the headquarters library, she is one of our ambassadors, as well as Richard Eby, the branch manager of the Riverdale branch. And also, Rebecca James, our Assistant Director of Youth Services, as well as Laura Eby, our Virtual Services Coordinator, they attended the Accessibility Conference. The conference focused on improving services and technology for individuals with disabilities. And so that was wonderful. Great takeaways and things that we will apply. And we have already started to apply. Now I have a couple more updates and a couple more programs that's coming up. April 7th, Cut It Out annual event, the Beauty Community Against Domestic Violence. This is a training geared especially for salon professionals. The goal is to help professionals recognize, respond, and help victims of domestic violence. And so this partnership is with Sisters Empowerment Network, Cut It Out, the Office of the District Attorney, as well as Clayton Justice Center. This event will take place on April 7th at the Northwest Branch from 11 to 1:30. Also, May 17th, we have a career fair in partnership with our chairwoman, Dr. Alika Anderson Henry. And this career fair will be for the community as well as for veterans. So whether you're seeking new opportunities or transitioning from military to civilian life, your skills, resilience, and dedication will pave the way for success. Also, we have special educational events provided, and you will learn more information if you come to this job fair about VA loans, home loans, mental health, veterans benefits and resources, financial literacy, and estate planning. Lunch will be provided, and this will take place, this job fair, on Saturday, May 17th from 11 to 3 p.m. Please check the Clayton County website. We will have job readiness classes to prepare you for this job fair. And that is all I have. Any questions for me?
Just one, you mentioned the symphony.
Yes.
Are there other event venues that the library offer tickets to as well?
Yes, so we have, of course, everyone knows about Zoo Atlanta.
Yeah.
But also we have the Georgia State Park passes. We also have the Spotty Splash passes. We have so many different museum passes. Please definitely go on our Clayton County website. We have a lot of different passes that everyone can take advantage of, but those are just a few of them.
Well, I was just saying, for our viewers listening in,
Oh.
I think this would be like if you dating on the budget as a great
Absolutely.
event, but I don't know if there's a limit to how many tickets you can get. Well, usually on a date it's 2 of you, right? Well, okay, it's
Discussion.
okay. But yes, I knew about the zoo, but I didn't know about the other opportunities.
Yes.
And so you just have to be a member of the library to,
For the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra.
for any of the opportunities to get.
Yeah, for any of the other experiential passes, you would have your library card and present that to be able to check the passes out. The symphony, I think that's a different,
Yes, it's different.
that's a different setup.
Oh, same setup?
No, it's a different setup. You
Okay.
just, as a resident of Clayton County for the library, you can get it.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
And so if you're an adult, you would just apply for that symphony pass and you would get 4 automatically. 4 passes.
Good.
I want to thank you, Vice Chair, for taking the opportunity to ask that question while I catch my breath. All these push-ups and jumping jacks, I couldn't catch my breath. But you mentioned St. Patrick's Day, and I don't know if I want to still wrestle with St. Patrick's Day, having to work there for 15 years straight on the East Coast before coming here to the metro area, and I see that it's following me way up here. So please, if you won't have one next year.
Shoot.
We'll have one every year. I'm sorry.
And it's looking like that.
All right, any other questions, comments? All right, thank you, ma'am. Okay,
I have a question about the passes. Is there like a separate tab when you go to the website, the library website? Or will there be a tab that says like community passes or something like that, that you can click on and then see a drop down for all of the different passes?
I think the way it's set up now, yes, there's a separate link for the passes. And you click on it and drop down, it will show you the different experiential passes that are available. I'm not sure if the symphony orchestra has been added yet, and because it kind of fits outside of the normal process, we'll have to have something set up separately for those passes.
Yes, but if you go to the Clayton County website, you click on use the library, then you will click on passes and attractions. And so then it will list for you the different passes as well as the different criteria to be able to get those passes.
Great. That might be a great pop-up box idea too. When individuals go visit the library's website.
And we will be promoting them on the bookmobile as well.
okay, Madam Secretary, can we have committee report, please?
Okay, so we'll go ahead and start with our advocacy committee. So I'll open the floor for the ladies of the advocacy committee to share if anyone has anything.
So I do have something
Okay.
for April, the week of April 14th through, I just know the 14th. But we will be celebrating here at the library, Exceptional Children's Week.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
we're actually going to be having an event at the Forest Park branch, with Mr. Stacy celebrating the kickoff of that week. And I will be there doing a small program with him from 4 to 5 or 4:30 to 5. So if you're available, please come out.
Okay.
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
Once I have the flyer as well, I believe it is finalized, but I'll ask him for it again, and once I have that, I'll send it out.
Okay, that's exciting, thank you. Okay, and did anyone else have anything to share regarding the advocacy for the library?
No, I was gonna ask if the library is participating in the upcoming 7 cities cleanup.
Yes, we are.
I'm interested, I don't know the date, I just heard about it, and I sent it out, but somehow it's not on my phone anymore.
No worries, we get the date.
Oh,
Well, yes, we are participating. When the email first came out, we jumped on board.
Okay. Well, I'm available to help.
Look forward to it.
Okay. So we will go ahead and pass the bylaws committee. Our chair is not here for that committee, but we didn't have anything on the agenda, so nothing missing. So I will hand the floor back over to our chairman.
Okay, next item on the agenda will be our unfinished business, which will be the DOT mixer. And Madam Secretary, I'll let you take it from there.
Okay. So we have an upcoming mixer. Excuse me while I pull up the flyer for that. And so we would like to really just have some team building, as they would say, employee morale, so trustee morale, if you will. And just a continuation from when we got together previously here in the library. So we'd like to just take it outside to enjoy some fun activity. Of course, it's always good to get together and eat and have a good time. So again, it's a continuation from when we previously got together. It was on site. We did Uno, we did quite a few different things. Yes, and we had a blast, right? So I actually don't have the flyer here, but I will drop it in the group chat. It's open to everyone to please attend. Mr. Fabian, do you have the date handy by chance?
25th.
25th, thank you. And it will be at Spicy Hill in Jonesboro, Georgia. You have it, the flyer? No? Okay. Yeah, if you don't mind sharing, that would be great. Thank you, yes. And I think you're sharing it in the group, or did you want to share verbally, or? Yeah, the details.
Okay, so the details
Yes, thank you.
The details for the mixer is Friday, April 25th, at 7 p.m. Doesn't have an end time, so. But it is at the old Spicy Hill restaurant, they have a new name now, so, a great place, so I think everyone will have a great time there.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, move right along to our new business, Dr. Paul.
So the first bullet point is we have a couple of MOUs that have been executed and we will be presenting to the Board of Commissioners. And so just wanted to make you aware of those. First one is with the Clayton County Health District, and that one is to develop a perinatal system of care in Clayton County to improve maternal health outcomes, demonstrates the effectiveness of a telementoring provider training system for perinatal health, establish a one-stop shop for family services, and implement a perinatal needs assessment and action plan. The other one is through the State Health Insurance Assistance Program. And this is for the Northwest Library. And this is to provide confidential one-on-one counseling to Medicare recipients, helping them understand their coverage options, Medicare Advantage plans, prescription drug plans, supplemental options, and other alternatives for managing healthcare costs and Medicare billing issues. So we're very excited about those partnerships coming up. And as you know, we are the entity that links resources to the community. And so as meaningful partnerships come our way, we look to see how best we can partner and make those available to the community. So those will be for them. Any questions on either of those?
What does the MOU stand for?
Memorandum of understanding.
Okay, thank
Yeah, it's like a contractual agreement between us and the organization that's providing the services.
I don't have a question on those two, but I do have a question that we're at the end.
Okay, great. The next bullet point, Kim, do you have? It's titled Evaluating Additional Operating Charges, should be changes. While she's pulling it up, we'll do, yes. Everyone see that?
Yes.
So, how can I frame this? We are looking at adjusting the current prices as what we charge for prints and copies, as well as scanning. My tenure here with the library system, I'm going on 10 years in July. And these values have not changed since then. They've probably been in place for even long before then. And you can see some of our surrounding partners, their costs for their prints and copies in black and white and color are more than ours. The cost of paper alone is getting to be a substantial line item for us. And so we're looking at ways that we could maintain. We've got new copy machines. We have a maintenance contract for those. Again, we have to keep up with. And so we are looking at possibly increasing what we currently charge for prints and copies for black and white and color. So I wanted to give you kind of a snapshot of what other library systems in the area are doing. And we will get together as a leadership team and develop what we plan next. I don't have a definitive price yet for the black and white and/or copies, but I'm looking at increasing those as well as what we charge for scanning. So I don't necessarily need a vote tonight, but I did want to make you aware of things that we're looking at doing and that we're planning on doing and justification for that.
Director, I have a question.
Yes.
I think we mentioned this a few meetings ago. In reference to the price changing, would that also entail that you would change the price on swiping your debit card or credit card?
Just about to get to that.
Okay.
Yes. Hang tight. Yes, Susan, did you have a question?
No, follow up after you answer that.
Okay.
After that.
Any additional questions on the prints and copies? Okay. Next. So, this is a current snapshot at this calendar year's, well, not this calendar year's, because we extend back to September 2024. But this is a snapshot of what our transactions are for credit cards. And let me get my other sheet here. So currently, we've got March in there, so it's not reflected on here. But our current charges from July of last year up to March of this year, almost $31,000 in credit card transactions. Last year, $39,505 in credit card transactions. Now, what this means is that we are footing the bill every time someone pays with their credit or debit card. We have been taking the hit for those transaction fees. So when folks come in and make a copy, a black and white copy is 10 cents. So when they swipe their debit card for that 10-cent copy, we take the hit for whatever that transaction fee is. And as you can see, it's starting to be and has been pretty hefty. And so we are going to have to look at figuring out some other way to offset these charges. A lot of locations, stores, businesses already have measures in place to where there's a threshold. In order to use your credit or debit card, your charges have to be a certain dollar amount. So we're looking at that and trying to determine what that dollar amount is going to be. In addition to that, we may also have to say, if your charges are beneath that threshold, then you will incur X amount transaction fee, again, to help offset these charges. $40,000 last year, we're already, again, in March, and we've had $30,000. That's revenue, again, that could be rerouted into programs, other areas. So we will be looking at restructuring and doing something different along those lines.
Kim, if you don't mind, going back to the previous slide, that's where my question was. And I probably thought I would have asked it prior to switching over.
Sure. The prints and copies?
Yes.
Yes. Mhm. Is it at the bottom? Of the document?
Thank you, Kim. My question is, do you see anything on that list currently that we're not providing and that you think is something that we could provide in the future? Any service that's not on that list?
It's a loaded question.
No, I just see
Yes.
some other.
I absolutely do have some thoughts in mind for some services that we could provide, that we currently don't provide, that our citizens have been requesting. We already provide notary services. Proctoring is just one example. We get that asked on a very frequent basis. Do you guys proctor exams? We do not, because we currently can't charge and don't charge for the service. We would like to, and we are working now with Board of Commissioners and the Finance Department to try to set that up, along with some other services that have been asked of us that we want to provide for our community. So the answer is yes.
Thank you.
Sure. Any other? Yes.
Just to piggyback off of what Vice Chair Andrews just said, that's a great question. Are there any additional requirements for the proctor, or is it simply like because I've done it before, so I didn't know, simply being a notary, or is there additional qualifications, or is it just based on the exam?
I think it's based on the exam and the institution that is needing a proctoring done.
Okay,
As far as a notary, of course, there's training involved and there's certification process to be a notary.
yeah,
But for proctoring exams, I think it's just having an able-bodied person
I
to
believe so.
monitor that person to make sure that they're not doing anything underhanded or subversive for that examination.
Okay, sounds good. I think that would be a great addition. In regards to the credit card charges,
Yes.
are there options for other virtual payment methods that we could use that may not be a charge, like for example, Zelle or something to that nature? Because I do think I understand where we're coming from, that could be unrealistic to swipe for 10 cents. So, but then we're in a time that I don't keep 10 cents on me, so it's like that catch-22. What do you do?
Absolutely, absolutely. And we are exploring other options for that.
Okay,
We will have to have that conversation with our county finance department,
okay,
because again, it would have to be something that they would approve and it
gotcha.
works with the systems that they have in place.
Okay, alrighty. I know a lot of times some of the other ones, some people even feel like in this day and age, Cash App is a bad word, so they're like, oh no, I would never. But just having other options that may be free of charge for those that just don't carry the cash. But yeah, Okay.
We
Sounds
will
good.
explore all options.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional?
I have one towards the end of your presentation. My question is, regarding MOUs, you have one with the Library Foundation.
Yes.
Just want to get an update, where are we with them?
Very good question. And unfortunately, I don't have a very good answer. I'm trying to think. I received notification maybe February of the upcoming foundation meeting that was going to be held. I wasn't able to attend, but I haven't heard or received any correspondence since then of a meeting or of any activities that they've undertaken thus far. So I can reach out to them this week and just kind of explore where they are, if there's any activities that have been taking place, give an update at our next meeting.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Are there any other questions?
And I think the third bullet, or C, is yours. Did you
Yes.
want? Okay.
The last bullet under the new business will be the bowling challenge between the Board of Trustees and the Clayton County Library System staff.
All right.
This is something to break up the monotony of us meeting just once per month, just to get out and fellowship from behind the tables and the desks and letting your hair down, letting your suit way out, and just come together in unity and have some fun. So if y'all are interested in it, I believe we selected a date of.
Yes, and thank you for dropping that in the chat for me with this flyer. So we have that scheduled for May 30th at 6 p.m. At the Pinstripes Bowling Alley. We would like to get a head count from you all so that we can plan accordingly, reserve a few lanes, et cetera. But yes, those are the details.
Do we have any bowlers in here?
Well, it's some time, I'm a competitor, I mean, I don't have my own shoes.
I roll well. I don't know if I'm a bowler, but I roll well.
I socialize.
You mean we only got 2 bowlers in here?
Well, there may be a lot more on staff, so.
Well, that's what we got.
I'm speaking on behalf of staff, so.
Well, wait a minute, yeah, y'all already cheated doing spades now, so, you know.
Yeah, 2 cards, please.
Well, Uno is good.
So we'll converse after.
All right.
The business is complete, yes.
All right, so, again, that will be the date and the time and the location, and so, as we move forward, this is gonna be in the month of May, so, if you're not able to bowl, just come in and.
Yeah.
Sing with us, and let's laugh, and let's videotape one another, and put on your social media accounts, and look at these people, they look how they acting, you know? And so, I just want to try to have some fun. Okay. If nothing else, we go into our next announcement, Director Paul.
And I was keeping myself here, the summer food program I have listed as the first bullet point. Now, none of my notes in my office, but we will have a summer food program this year. Off the top of my head, it will be a Monday through Saturday program. There will be lunch served as well as a snack. The lunch between 12 and 2 and the snack offered around 4 o'clock. We are excited this year because some of the restrictions that have been in place previously, we don't have to deal with those anymore. The food program will run May 21st, I think, through, I don't want to give you inaccurate information, but I'll send that out as soon as I'm able to get back to my notes. But we're very excited about that and opened up, I think, children, so they can chew on up to 17 or 18 years old. So we're very excited about that.
And you said this is an annual?
We have been able to offer that the past several summers. And I'll leave it at that, yes.
Well, that's
And we intend to continue that as long as we can.
at each grade.
Yes.
Okay.
Next bullet point is our library ambassador board. We had invited them out to present at May's meeting. We have been informed that a lot of the teen ambassadors have conflicts with their schedule, and we may have to push it back to the June meeting. So just wanted to make you aware of that. And I'm going to skip over C. I've got two more that I omitted, but wanted to briefly mention. We will be offering a 6-week cursive writing class at the Forest Park branch. And that will be every Thursday at 4:30 p.m. And that class is already started. So we all know about cursive and writing these days, so we're very excited about that. In addition, we will also be having ESL classes at headquarters starting April 17th on Thursdays and Fridays from 10 to 1. So very excited. I think it's been on the website for a while, but it's coming, and so we finally had confirmation that we will be starting with the ESL classes. So very excited about that. So we are very excited to be adding a new member to our leadership team. Our previous assistant director for branch services, Mr. Coleman, has moved on, and so we had a vacancy. We had a couple of rounds of interviews, and so we have offered the position to Ms. Kimberly Clayton, who is currently employed with the Henry County Library System. Ms. Kimberly Clayton used to work for Clayton County at the Forest Park branch. And so she will be coming back home. She will be starting April 21st, and we are super excited to have her back. She is a dynamic librarian, dynamic person, and we are very excited and very fortunate to have her on our team. So,
I look forward to meeting you.
absolutely. So any questions about any of the announcements, updates?
Yes, you mentioned about the 6-week cursive writing. Is
Yes.
that on the school anymore?
I don't think it is.
No.
No,
not.
for
No.
years, it has been.
Tell about it.
Oh, I think that's gonna be something,
Yeah.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yes.
So that's that should be something for everyone to, take part in, because, writing is everything.
Yes.
You can't, I mean, when the battery or the system goes out, then what?
So we are looking at expanding the classes beyond Forest Park and seeing if we can't have them at multiple branches, but we're talking about that currently.
Great, thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions? All right. Thanks, sir.
Trustee, did you have any? You said at the end of my presentation.
I asked,
You did?
that was about the MOU with the foundation.
Thank you.
All right. Is there anything else that we need to discuss prior to our adjournment? All right, hearing none, I have a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
I second.
It has been properly moved by Secretary Clemens and seconded by Vice Chair Andrews. Are there any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, any abstention, the motion carries. Good night.
Good night.